the sponsor of the legislation, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this opportunity to present this bill. Similar to what the bill we just heard from Congressman Budd, this bill repeals a part of Dodd-Frank. It specifically repeals Section 1503, requiring mining companies to include information about mine safety, health violations, orders, citations, legal actions, and mining-related fatalities in quarterly and annual reports with the Securities and Exchange Commission. These disclosures are largely based on the safety and health requirements that apply to mines already under the Federal Mine Safety Health Act of 1977, administered by the Mine Safety and Health Administration Committee. So these are duplicative requirements, Mr. Chairman. These SEC rules and requirements established in this Section 105 are already required by the Department of Labor's Safety and Health Administration. I know there's some opposition to it, thinking duplicative regulations are somehow helpful. I guess by that logic, you could have the EPA, Department of Interior, Army Corps of Engineers, and a whole bunch of other groups administer the exact same set of regulations and standards. These are duplicative regulations. We're empowering the wrong bureaucracy with this Section 1503. The Securities and Exchange Commission is tasked with protecting investors, maintaining fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and to facilitate capital formation. The SEC is to set rules and requirements for Wall Street, banks, and investors. It should not be regulating a labor-intensive industry such as mining. Disclosures are harmful and counterproductive to companies who are mandated to disclose this information. These cause increased compliance costs that could be invested to create jobs or otherwise grow a company. I've seen estimates as $1 million to comply with these regulations. $1 million could be $10,000, $100,000 coal mining jobs. I'd rather see that $1 million spent to employ 10 coal miners at $100,000 a year, which are good paying jobs in West Virginia and other states in this country, than on disclosure requirements that are duplicative anyway. I do want to thank the U.S. Chamber of Commerce for supporting this bill. They have said that we believe that repealing Section 103 of the Dodd-Frank Act, that such disclosures are an improper use of the securities laws, will likely have unintended consequences down the road. Other areas of law already address mine safety issues, and these types of mandates only add to the problem of disclosure overload, which harms investors and places significant cost burden on the capital markets. I also want to thank the National Mining Association for their letter of strong support for this bill. The Mining Association states it well. They said that my bill, the Section 1503 of the Dodd-Frank, requires SEC to issue a rule for mining companies to disclose certain mine safety information is both duplicative of existing requirements and distractive. That this Section 1503 was added to Dodd-Frank in the conference committee in the middle of the night with no hearings. Just as my colleague, Mr. Huizinga from Michigan, mentioned the airdropping in of the last bill we debated, this was airdropped in with no hearings into the Dodd-Frank bill. And it wasn't vetted. The same, so going on to read the National Mining Association's letter, it says the same safety information required by Section 1503 is already made available on a timelier basis by the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Section 1503 is simply a duplicative requirement that does not serve either safety or investor awareness. So I know we've had a lot of debate about Dodd-Frank and these issues, Mr. Chairman. I'll go ahead and yield my time back to the chair.